States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, August 21st. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, come up to a microphone, give us your name and address, and state your business, please. Call the roll.
Cedar.
Here.
Ellery.
Here.
Kinsfater.
Here.
Kleeman.
Here.
Koopa.
Here.
Laporte.
Here.
McCartney.
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll go to first consent agenda A, City Council minutes of August 7th, 2017, regular meeting, recommendation approved. B is the St. Clair Harbor Commission minutes of August 5th, 2017, meeting, recommendation received. And C, Historical Commission minutes of June 8th, 2017, meeting, recommendation received.
Make a motion to approve A through C as presented.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have a public hearing at this time on an establishment of a commercial redevelopment district, St. Clair property, so I'm going to open the public hearing. Mr. Downey, you want to give us a little...
Yes, Your Honor. This matter is set for public hearing. The council will recall that back in June, I believe it was, City Council passed a resolution establishing a commercial redevelopment district, but subsequent to that, discovered that there was a notice issue as it related to the county government, St. Clair County. We had since remedied that notice issue, but in so doing, we're required to reintroduce everything. So although we've conducted this public hearing once previously, essentially it's been reopened now for the purpose of hearing any comment from St. Clair County if it wishes to add anything.
All right. Anybody have anything, comments, questions, or anything about this redevelopment district? Mr. Cataldo, you have anything to say, or you're all set? Pass? Okay.
Do you need a motion to close the public hearing?
Support.
Motion made to close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll move to number 6. Proclamations. So, September 16th, I have a proclamation I'm going to read. Whereas the American Legion was chartered by Congress on September 16th, 1919 as a wartime veterans organization based on the 4 pillars of Veterans Affairs: rehabilitation, national security, Americanism, and children and youth. Whereas over the years, the American Legion has become a preeminent community service organization which now numbers more than 2 million members, men and women, over 14,000 American Legion posts worldwide, including Charles J. Fulton Post 382 in St. Clair, Michigan, providing a variety of programs that support the 4 pillars and benefit our community's veterans, its service members, their families, the youth of America, its citizens. Whereas the members of the American Legion Charles J. Fulton Post 382, chartered in 1947, are dedicated to upholding the ideals of freedom and democracy while working to make a difference in the lives of federal Americans. And whereas the 2017 observance of American Legion Day nationally provides an opportunity to recognize Legionnaires for their many contributions to our community. Therefore, I, William Cedar Jr., Mayor of City of St. Clair, Michigan, do hereby proclaim September 16th American Legion Day. Witness thereof, I do set my hand and cause the corporate seal of the City of St. Clair to be affixed to this 21st day of August, 2017. We'll correct that typo in the final paragraph.
Yes.
Thank you. Do I need a motion or anything for that proclamation? No. All right. All right. We'll move to number 7. Resolution 1715, Commercial Redevelopment District. Mr. Downey.
Your Honor, again, this resolution is before City Council for its consideration. This is the culmination of the application made by Clair LLC that's been the subject of review and public hearing. And in so adopting this resolution, the City Council would be granting the relief requested by Clair LLC, which is its prerogative under the state law.
Motion to approve.
Support that motion.
All right, the motion is made. Support. Any questions, concerns? Call the roll, please.
Ellery.
Yes.
Kinsfater.
Yes.
Kleeman.
Yes.
Koopa.
Yes.
Laporte.
Yes.
McCartney.
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Number 8, Fourth Administration, Mr. Booth.
Your Honor, I've got a few items this evening. St. Clair Highway, road work that's being done there, the contractors poured most of the concrete. They have exceeded the completion date, which was August 11th. That was obviously last Friday. AEW sent them a request for a completion schedule, and as soon as I have additional information, I'll forward that to council. I have a meeting scheduled with Rowe for this Thursday to discuss applying for next year's scrap tire grants. Letters of interest are typically due in October, and then if awarded, the awarding of the grants are done in April of the following year. Crack sealing is progressing with our DPW. You should see them out around town, putting tar in some of the cracks. And then patchwork at the corner of M29 and Clinton was done by our DPW. I'm sure most people have probably noticed that. Again, typically anything that's done on M29, the state trunk line, is done by the county and billed back to us, since that was our water main that broke. They were not able to get to it, so they asked that we do it. So again, that's done. Job turned out quite well. Then I also wanted to make sure residents were aware that we're closed on Memorial, the Monday, 28th.
Labor Day.
Or sorry, thank you. We did that, I think, in Memorial Day. Called it Labor Day. And that's it.
Any questions or concerns to Mr. Booth?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a fine for them not finishing on time?
If imposed, I believe it's $600 a day, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? We'll go to B, City Attorney. Mr. Downey, you have anything?
Nothing this evening, Your
All
Honor.
right. C is City Departments. B, Authority Boards, Commission, Committee Chair, Council Reps. We have no unfinished business. We'll go to number 10, new business. A, schedule public hearing for an industrial facilities tax exemption certificate application, Wright Plastics Products. The city clerk has received an application from Wright Plastics Incorporated, Christian B. Haas, industrial tax exemption certificate under PA 198 of 1974. In accordance with Section 5.2 of the Act, City Council must give public notice and afford an opportunity for a hearing to the applicant, the assessor, and a representative of the affected taxing units. It's recommended that this public hearing be scheduled for 7 p.m. on Tuesday, September 5th, 2017, which will be our next meeting in September.
So moved.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, go to B. Site plan, St. Clair Place, Apartments, number 2. Who's got this one?
Mike, I don't know if you can help us.
Well, I'm sure, I guess. Planning Commission met twice in this. The first time the applicant came forward, we gave them a bullet list of about 23 different items. Some items were part of the ordinance, other items that we asked for that weren't on there. The fire department reviewed it. There was a turn angle at one end. We asked for the streets to be connected with Clinton and Adams. We asked for the pack lighting that was on the building to be removed and down lighting put in the parking lot. There was a question about where the dumpsters were, the retention ponds, irrigation, everything we asked the applicant for, they met. They meet the ordinance. It was a unanimous decision to pass it on to council at our planning commission meeting.
It's my understanding this is their final,
This-
the final step.
Right, and they're clear to start. This is the project that goes from Clinton Avenue all the way back to Adams Street. Sidewalks will be connected, the water will be looped. There was a question about services. The engineer was asked about the sewer system. This is the same group doing the apartment complex behind the church on Yankee and 29. I was a little surprised there were no garages and outdoor storage, but our ordinance doesn't require them. The first floor is all handicap accessible, the other 2 are not.
Any questions? or
I do have a
anything?
question too for Mr. Laporte. On the night of August 9th, there was a motion made to recommend approval of the site plan contingent on Carlisle Wortman's recommendations, and there's 4 recommendations, number 7, I'm not going to read them, but there's number 7, number 8, number 12, and number 13.
Has Carlisle Wortman approved his
Yes.
recommendations as he
As far
came?
as I know, otherwise it wouldn't be here. Mr. Booth, is that correct?
I would believe Mr. Bullier would not pass it along without it, but we can verify that if that'd be, if you like, put that
Just, I
stipulation.
didn't see anything
Then
in the packet that said that that was
I'd make
reviewed.
that part
so-
of the motion, to make sure that it's in there.
Okay.
And you said no elevators, Mike?
Nope, it's not required.
So handicap can't go visit nobody on the second or third floor.
How many meetings has planning had with this group?
Two.
And the first one, you told them what you wanted, and they came back with the list, and they,
Right, and we held them off for 2 months.
And
The
they-
planner had a chance to go through everything.
yeah.
There was more consideration considered to the residents on either side of them, because it is a wooded area. This is the old Haas property that we thought at one time there was going to be a senior complex going there, retirement. And the next thing we knew, the property was sold, and that's zoned multiple.
I would make a motion to approve the site plan.
I'll support it.
Contingent on those.
Contingent on those, yeah. Just verification that those were addressed.
All right, the motion made by member McCartney, supported by member Ellery, to approve, to make sure that those Carlisle Wortman issues were addressed. Is that right?
Yeah,
All right. Is there any questions, concerns about that? All right, let's call the roll, please.
Kinsfater,
Yes.
Kleeman,
Yes.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney,
yes?
Ellery,
Yes.
Cedar,
Yes.
Carrie Drowner.
All right, thank you. Let's go to C, Schmoody Oil seismic testing. I think I see Ron Carr and Mr. Schmoody here, or?
Yep, he just walked in.
Yep, I was start clearing the property.
Welcome, fellas.
And of course, you can't read the street name.
We're asking for tonight is to introduce what we see in the future, and there's potentially 2 more phases of data acquisition to complete. So a picture underlying the city. The order that we would like to see performed in would be to acquire another line down Kearney Drive.
Speak up just a little bit. I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry, let me see, is this microphone working?
Yeah, it should.
Is that better? Okay, so we would like to acquire another seismic line down Kearney Drive. We would also like to acquire a line that is primarily on private property, which we have already permitted the private landowners, would go along 10th Street and 11th Street down here, with potentially some offset source points along 10th Street. So that would be the first phase. Pending the data from those 2 studies, we may want to acquire data along Fred Moore Highway and along Adams Street, and extending out across the school, who we've obtained permission from. So I want to share with you the full picture, maybe save another trip down.
How's it going so far?
Dennis, do you have anything to share with them about the interpretations you've had done on the data we've acquired?
Does this one work?
Yes.
We've shot 6 seismic lines so far, and we see areas of solution that took place by the Diamond Crystal Salt Company. We see evidence of that, and on a couple of the lines, the line coming down Kearney Drive and the other one should help us map out the extent. Of course, that's not my objective, but it's something that can possibly help the city of St. Clair. I have seen evidence of the slumping pretty significantly, starting about where your slumping is on St. Clair Highway. And I think I talked to your guy, Jim Downing. Is he here? Okay, Jim, yeah. So I talked to him earlier that we're going to have a meeting here right after Labor Day, and maybe talk some more about that. But as far as the seismic is concerned, the area is more complex than I thought initially. Not in a negative way. It's just I need more information to make sure that I make the right decisions. And all the work that we've done so far hasn't harmed anybody or done anything as far as the roads are concerned. And if you allow me to do it, I think I can do a first-rate job, plus give some answers to the city.
So what you're saying is the last time you were here, you had requested permission to cross the golf course.
That's correct.
And in lieu of that request, you were going to get information for us on St. Clair Highway.
That's correct.
And you have some of that preliminary information today.
That's correct.
So,
I tried to set up a meeting already with the city. I was prepared to come down to have a meeting before the meeting here today. And I wasn't able to establish a meeting until I talked to Jim here this morning. He said, what are we going to do? I'm on my way down. Are we going to have a meeting or not? And so we thought the best thing to do is wait till right after the holiday here, then we'll have it. So whatever's convenient for you and for me. But you have to understand the work that I've done so far is not complete, and it's going to lead to more questions. Okay? So.
When do you propose to do this phase?
The two seismic lines here?
Yeah.
As soon as possible, but we're ready to go. As long as it's in the scheduling here for here with Bay Geophysical. What do you think, Ron?
Our schedule is good for prior to Labor Day and immediately after Labor Day.
You want to run that seismic machine down those roads, correct?
Down Kearney Drive and
10th
then
Street?
pieces of 10th
I live
Street.
on 10th Street, and that road's in very bad condition. I'm concerned about that.
Okay. Well, what's,
I
what,
mean,
you want
is
to
there,
talk about
is there a
the
different,
concern?
is there an alternate road you can go down? I know 9th Street's a lot better condition.
Well, 9th Street has already been acquired. Are you concerned about
I'm concerned about South 10th Street, and I'm not concerned for my own personal,
this section
for the
of 10th
record, but
Street?
that's just a terrible road.
Is that the section right there?
Yeah, that section right there.
Okay, we're actually permitted across this parcel. It
Uh-huh.
has some wooded sections. That's where I was talking about. We may or may not want to offset a source or two to 10th Street just to work around the wooded sections.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're concerned about the condition of 10th Street.
I mean, if you think your machine won't damage the road anymore, but it's up and down, pieces of the asphalt are missing.
Right, but we can avoid that section of 10th Street. This would be the section where we really need to be on 10th Street itself.
Okay. Yeah.
So what you're asking for right now is Kearney Drive and along 10th Street, but in that request, you're saying that you might do Fredmore Highway, Adams, and a few other streets? So actually, you're asking for it all, because you're not going to come back to us.
What we're trying to do is avoid the frustration of coming back here and.
So you're asking for it all.
If we'd like to.
You'll have the permission to do it all, you're just saying that you might not. That's what you're looking for?
Yes, I guess that's,
Okay.
yeah, that's very good.
Me.
That's, hit the nail on the head.
So, what other streets do you want to do then? Everything in between?
No, we're,
Because there's a lot of streets that are worse
No.
than South 10th Street that
no, I
couldn't
think,
use your machine.
no, we'll have enough information. We're close to being able to make a decision, okay? So,
Where on that map are you going to conclude information on St. Clair Highway that you don't have currently? Just for so I can see.
Probably Fredmore.
so we have St. Clair Highway here, and we see solution effects.
No, you've done that already, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so.
yeah, but we done it,
so
but it's showing you where it
you-
is.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to do more because you
Well, we
weren't
did this,
conclusive.
And so we're gonna come down here, 10th Street, down this far. So we're gonna see if it goes around the Pine River here, how far it comes over this way. Will be, here's Kearney Drive. So,
Goes down to here.
okay, it comes
Okay.
down to here. But what I'm thinking that it looks like this. Well, maybe come up like this, the solution that affects.
Okay.
But the more information you have, it's just like the doctors, you know, they gotta give you every test under the sun, and then they eliminate different things, and they can make a better decision. It's kind of the same thing here.
When do we start getting all of our royalties? That's what I want to know.
Well, you have to start leasing. And I've contacted the city here, or Ron has, to get some partial descriptions. It looks like you have about 100 and, how many acres?
115.
115 acres in the city. Is that
Rough
close to
number.
being correct?
Sounds ballpark.
Or more.
Depends on how much oil you find. 300.
And I want to apologize.
If you can help us
if
out,
I
that'd be great.
confused anyone earlier. What I was attempting to explain is we would like to collect the north-south lines, and then pending the processing and interpretation of that, they may want to collect the two east-west lines, okay? So that, because at some point, you guys will get tired of us coming back here and talking to you. So I thought I would
Unless
at
it's
least
good news.
introduce
If it's
that
good
to
news,
you.
you can come back every day.
I wouldn't be coming here if it wasn't good news so far, okay? So I'm seeing encouragement, so
Good.
that's the reason.
Dennis, when do you anticipate having the report ready for us regarding our St. Clair Highway failure?
Well, that's a good question. When I get these next two lines done, I've asked the geophysicists already. I said, I would like you to start looking at a salt solution map for the B salt and whatever else we find there. And so we can have something there for you. So when is that going to be? Maybe 60 days. 60 days from the time we shoot these last couple lines.
So the report's not done then right now,
No.
obviously.
No, but what I can do is come back, I'm prepared to come back here right after the holiday here and meet with a couple representatives and show you what I found.
That would be
The reason why I don't want to have a big hearing in front of everybody is that we have the press here, and I would have to divulge some pretty sensitive information, and I think it would be up to the city to decide and myself as to, you know, do you want this public or not?
All right, so I'll leave that to Mr. Downey, but I guess I'm going to say, you're saying September 5th, which is that the Tuesday after Labor Day? You're looking to come here and give us some of this information depending on how Mr. Downey tells us to do this. And then at that time,
That's a preliminary, right?
that's a preliminary. And then after that, you're going to have the finalized.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Why don't you want to publicly talk about it? I mean,
Because
everyone-
unless
I mean,
until I have the
Everyone's
areas,
sitting on top of the land, so why
But-
can't everybody know?
well,
Question.
it's a very good question, Mitch, but the thing is, if there's oil and gas reefs that I've identified,
Uh-huh.
I'd rather, since I spent all this money, go ahead and lease as much as I can. And then after I'm done, then you can have it, but not until I am done. Let's say I hit some oil and gas. The problem with an oil and gas company such as myself coming into an open hearing like this is I divulge everything. If I divulge everything, there's a lot of oil and gas companies that will follow, and they'll just get in my hair. And it's like, if I spend all this time and money onto this, shouldn't the person that went through all the effort get there first? I mean, it's like a fishing hole. Whoever goes fishing and gets to the fishing hole first gets the fish. That's a bad example, but it
No,
just-
that makes
it's a
sense.
good one.
That makes sense.
yeah.
So I do feel sensitive to that whole issue that you just went through, and I'm gonna recommend to council if we so desire that we'll approve the Kearney Drive 10th Street thing, but that's it for tonight, so that we have something out there else that we need to be able to do, so that we can get this report in our hands and in the agreement that we made. And I think that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you guys think?
So you're just looking just to approve the 10th Street line and the
Kearney.
Kearney Drive? I'll make the motion to approve that.
I'll support it.
All right, motion's made, supported. Any questions or comments?
Should it be roll call?
Call the roll, please.
Kleeman,
Yes.
Pufa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney,
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Kinsfater.
Yes.
Cedar,
Yes.
Carrie Drowner.
All right, thank you. Good luck, fellas.
Thank you. And Jim, you'll be contacting me?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to 11, claims and accounts. August 11, 18, 2017.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go to number 12, public comment, public questions. Anybody have anything out there tonight for the good of the group? All right, oh, hold on.
John Shinsky, 937 Thornapple. I'd like to make a request to the city that the next time, if there's going to be a next time they oil roads or put that surfactant on the roads, they could come down Thornapple and put some on there. That road is getting really dusty. So I don't know if they're going to do it again for fall or whatever.
So you're asking for the salt?
Whatever they
Brine.
put down, yeah, the brine, whatever it is.
Thank you, John.
Just something to keep the dust out.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Anybody else? Let's go to number 13. Mayor and council. John, did you want to, are you here for a reason, or?
Yes,
You
you
wanna-
guys asked me to come back and give an update on
Yeah,
where we're at.
come on.
And I brought,
Some people are asking me where to get those signs.
you can get them at the Legion, the police department, the fire department, Sonia's salon. And I've been sitting in the park and we're gonna try to sit around where we're, can get out to the public, and we were down to the Jazz Festival. But I'd like to introduce my, John LaCroix here at 5485 Point Drive from the American Legion. Mr. Mayor and council, I want to thank you first for mentioning the American Legion that you did there and what you're doing. I appreciate that. But this is our commander, Andrew Dupree.
Indy, how are you?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, Council. As John has mentioned, we're going to have a appreciation night for the fire department and the police department on September the 29th. And we're sponsoring it. The family of the American Legion, the Sons, and the Auxiliary are sponsoring it, along with, right now, we've got a pretty good list of other sponsors, if you wouldn't mind me mentioning them tonight. Right now, we've got Cargill, DTE, Bewers are some of the bigger ones, Coghlan Jewelry, Country Cafe, Huffmaster Insurance, Warwater Brewery, Riverbend Marina, G&E Equipment Repair, and some of the local residents such as Ned Zimmer, Julie Wallace, Steve Way, Sarah Bailey, Jim Russell, Steve and Brenda Pidgeot. We've also got starting to see a lot of these signs up around town, which is pretty encouraging. We're looking to have this get quite a bit of support for this. As John might have mentioned, we can get people can buy tickets for the meal. Now, we're still working on how many of those tickets we're going to sell, because even though we got a pretty nice kitchen over there, we're gonna have, logistics is gonna be a little tough trying to feed as many people as we think we might have. So right now, we're up around 500 tickets so far. We haven't sold them yet, but those are the tickets that are out there available for sale. Now, depending on how those go, we'll up the tickets if need be. The same thing with the signs. We're selling, this sign, for instance, is a $100 donation. The smaller signs are $20, and that's just a show support. And then down the road, once we've tallied all this, we'll get appreciation letters out to everybody that donated for our cause here. We're still looking for sponsors. We're having raffles and silent auctions for some of the gift baskets, prizes that we're getting from some of our sponsors. So we're still looking for some of that too. What else do we have going on here? Oh, the tickets for the dinner will be $10.
Where do they get the tickets?
The tickets will be sold at the Legion. The fire department has them. Police department has them. They're $10, and that's the only way you can eat. And it's not going to be an all-you-can-eat like our fish dinners are. It's $10. It's going to be a barbecued pork dinner. Like I say, tickets are looking like they're going to sell out, so I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm just waiting for the public to get theirs first, and we'll take care of that later. We're looking at, if the tickets don't sell out, we're looking at a Friday the 22nd to end our dinner tickets. That doesn't mean that the public's not welcome. If you don't get a dinner ticket, that doesn't mean you can't come down. Come down. We're going to have a beer tent. Of course, we're going to have music, which is by Double Play, and when they're taking a break, Phil Ludman will be DJing in between the band. We'll have raffles from 7 to 9. Times the dinner start here.
It's like 2 to 7.
2 to 6, yeah. And then we'll have, activities all day long. So, so far, we're still in the getting everything together phase, but it looks like it's coming together pretty good. Hopefully, things will really start to gel within the next week or so, and then we'll be off to the races then.
All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming in, you guys.
Thank you, and again, thank you for your recognition of our organization.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I guess I'll just remind everyone that this Saturday, August 26th, Light a Boat Parade, dusk, Pine River, St. Clair River. Come back to Mullane's afterward. There's no registration fee. There's no entry fees. Every boat gets a prize. Decorate your boat any way you'd like. Mr. Westrick, you're more than welcome to join in. Father Ritter passed away. An icon, yeah. He certainly will be missed.
Hearing nothing else, Your Honor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.